I'm really excited about. And here's another today's special that I'm kind of calling a secret, like Andrew's secret today's special. The secret is out. Actually, we don't normally get to do or spend a lot of time talking about memory and brain. And it's never been a today's special, which is shocking to me. So this was on earlier, and I have to say, people went wild. Focus, concentration, in a world that is pure chaos, or has been in the last 16, 18 months, we have a lot on our plate, whether it's, numerical codes or passcodes or, for websites. This helps us, and it helps us in a way where real science, again, not airy-fairy things, people are kind of jumping on bandwagons. Nobody does a product like this in Andrew Lessman, and he's doing it for the first time ever as today's special. It can and will help you. You just choose your size of choice, 30, 60, 120, 240, 480. Not only special pricing, but that size for today and today only. 076447, of course, unconditional money-back guarantee until the end of January now. And Andrew, I have to say, there were, I know Colleen, for Adam, those of us, we were singing the praises of you and this product long before it ever became a today's special. So yay, it's about time, right?
Well, this is the first time it's been a today's special, and it's a product that, like all of my products, has undergone a rather substantial evolution since I introduced this product over 30 years ago. And the only way to really approach, if you're looking for something to help support memory, concentration, mental acuity, attention and focus, there's no one magical ingredient. I see this one product advertised constantly on television, on the radio, and the same person probably droning on and on. Whatever, a paid spokesperson by the company, I suppose. I started the company in this case here. But the problem I have with their product, it's a single ingredient. It's an ingredient that, despite my digging and digging and digging, I can only find a single piece of research that they funded. What we're talking about here are ingredients that have independent research, an abundance of research. And we're talking about here are not magical ingredients. When it comes to your brain is a rather complex organ. It's the defining organ. It's what makes human beings very, very special. Not necessarily in a good way at all times, but it certainly provides us with remarkable faculties. Our ability to think, our ability to concentrate, to remember, our ability to use language and to communicate. These are remarkable skills, and they're dependent upon our brain. And as we age, just like we were talking about our skin and our joints and our blood vessels, our brain ages as well, and our brain's faculties change with that aging process. What you try to do with a product like this is look at how the organ itself functions. What does it require to function? The brain requires extraordinary amounts of energy, more energy than any other organ, pound for pound, gram for gram, kilogram for kilogram. That's the fact with our brain. So it needs an extraordinary and uninterrupted supply of energy. That is why you see on the screen there acetyl L-carnitine. And acetyl L-carnitine isn't just there to make sure that your brain has the tools necessary to produce the energy it requires, but also acetylcholine is the principal neurotransmitter in the brain. Acetyl L-carnitine can be used to make acetylcholine. Acetylcholine, the first word, acetyl, and acetyl L-carnitine. So again, and when I talk about Mother Nature and her wonderful gifts, what often we have to worry about with drugs and medicines, and this is not a drug or a medicine, and it's not designed to treat a disease, unless we consider the normal aging process a disease, which it probably is. It afflicts all of us, and it takes, I think, an ever-accelerating toll. But what this product really is, it's comprehensive, and it's designed to not just provide one single tool and one single ingredient. You see at the top 500 milligrams of acetyl L-carnitine. That alone is worth the price of entry here. Then, in case you're not taking a multivitamin, we make sure you get a little bit of vitamin D. And then we get into the very interesting botanicals. We're talking Bacopa manura, which is 20% bacicides. Our Ginkgo Biloba, which is standardized for 24% Ginkgo flavone glycosides. That's what GFG stands for. And 6% terpene lactones. It's interesting. I mustn't have seen this chart, the new version of it, because we used to not abbreviate the ginkgo flavone glycosides and the terpene lactones to GFG and TL. But that's a critical standardization. And unfortunately, when you test ginkgo out in the marketplace, you will find most of the ginkgo out there isn't all that well standardized. We have our special CurcuminPhospholipid Complex. We have our special ginseng, our Panax ginseng, standardized for ginsenosides. We also have a standardized extract of Vinpocetine, a standardized extract of Huperzine. So I'm not sure if you're going to find any product in the world that's as comprehensive as this. And then you get a full B-complex, again, in case you're not taking a multivitamin. It's better than any multivitamin you might be taking with our special folate, our special protected natural coenzyme B12. You also get a little bit of vitamin C, so it's like a mini multivitamin. So what you're seeing here basically is where it gets really interesting here, are in the botanicals there, and also with the acetyl L-carnitine. But again, when you look at this product, there's no such thing as a single magic ingredient for brain function, for memory, concentration, mental acuity. But there are a number of ingredients that have really strong science, abundant supportive science, and that's how this product was put together. And that's why, as I've said, over the years, we added Vinpocetine, we added Huperzine, we added Bacopa. We added each of these individual ingredients as the science developed, as the clinical research developed. And if you look at the reviews on this product, there are over 90% positive reviews. About 80% of the reviews are 5-star reviews. And again, it's a product that we're not going to make the crazy, outrageous claims that others make, where they start making statements about disease, and I see them. And it doesn't mean that my product is inferior. It just means that I'm not willing to sell my soul and compromise my ethics and start talking about dementia or start talking about Alzheimer's disease. There is no nutritional supplement that can be offered or delivered for those issues. Again, all we can do is provide natural support to help us contend with the changes that come naturally. All of us will experience them with the aging process. I mean, thus far, I feel like I've aged without any significant impact at all on my mental faculties. I don't think I'll be saying that when I'm in my 80s or 90s. So what I try to do is keep pushing back that time when I might be experiencing those differences. Because again, my ability to do what I do here, my ability to communicate the information that I've learned over the years, over the decades, over my lifetime about these ingredients and formulas, is dependent on my doing the very best I can to age gracefully in all regards, including how my brain functions. So this is a product that provides, again, tools that provide for the uninterrupted energy supply that our brain needs. Also provides for the uninterrupted supply of energy that requires circulation, nutrients, oxygen that gets to our brain. The most important characteristic faculty of our brain, and Daniel Amen, whose book I recommend all the time, or books I recommend all the time, an incredible neuropsychiatrist, but Daniel always talks about perfusion being what's critical for the brain. And what does he mean by perfusion? It means that our blood supply is adequately perfusing our brain, delivering oxygen and nutrients and carrying away waste products. That's why exercise and activity and healthy diet are so important. But again, there are ingredients in here that focus on that circulation to the brain, the uninterrupted supply of energy, and the creation of neurotransmitters. All of these ingredients, it's an entire menu of opportunities to make a difference in how your brain functions.
Well, and I mean, let those reviews speak for themselves. I mean, time may or may not permit us to get to any reviews during this, because we've still got to get to our monthly specials. But take a moment, if you will. I mean, certainly you see that customer pick at a 4.4-star rating. Certainly there's going to be a high standard of measurement, you know, a secret to success. I mean, because people are talking about brain fog, mental focus, all of those things that Andrew was saying, really meaning sharp as a tack. I used to think of my grandmother, and everybody used to say, she's just so sharp. And so read those reviews if you can. I can tell you this has been a runaway hit since it debuted for the first time ever at this today's special pricing. Remember, 30, 60, 120, 240, or 480. Just, you know, personal recommendation. Midnight is great because I know you listen and process a lot of information, but you might want to select it now. Andrew has fewer airings throughout the day, and this has never been offered as a today's special. Never at this price, best pricing ever on a product that is really making a difference for people in certainly a chaotic world, Andrew, and that's just it. Certainly, when I was in college, I used a typewriter. I cannot imagine my life, the way it is now. We've got a lot on our plate, whether it's remembering websites or passwords or where you put the car keys. And like Andrew said, it's not a cure or treatment for anything. I'm not getting weird about this. But when you read those reviews, it really is lovely to see how your body responds when you give it what you need, basically. And do it in a way that no one else in the world is doing. I should have spent more time introducing you to Andrew when we started this show, because if you are new, he's been making the world's finest vitamins really for over 4 decades. And nobody does it more responsibly or in a more thoughtful way. And certainly, Andrew, I think time is of the essence for this product. Just, in a stressful world, in a chaotic world, sometimes when we're stressed, I think our energy-sucking brains, they require all that energy, require a little more help. And it's nice that you did this as a today's special.
No, our brain, as I said, it's a complex organ. We talk about our microbiome, our guts, the microorganisms in our microbiome, in our gut. They create neurotransmitters that affects our brain. So there's a multitude of factors that affect our brain, that affect our mood, that affect outlook, whether it's vitamin D levels, whether it's making sure we have adequate levels of omega-3 in our brain, because the principal fatty acid in our brain is DHA. So there's a number of considerations that we have to make on basically a structural level for our brain, the phospholipids, the fatty acids, and things like that. What we're talking about here is really more on a functional level. When we're talking about the neurotransmitters, whether we're talking about the uninterrupted supply of energy, making sure that there's adequate circulation and supporting healthy circulation to our brain. And that's why I always emphasize exercise. I was having this conversation with my mom yesterday, that it's so important that we get our heart rate up to the extent we can, that we move around, because healthy circulation, we start off in life, and one of the best things for our brain is how isolated it is. Because when we're young, we're crazy. So it's good that our brain is isolated to protect our brain from us. But as we get older, that isolation reduces the ability of our brain to, say, get adequate oxygen, adequate nutrients, adequate energy, neurotransmitters. So again, as we get older, the challenges that were built into our brain that were protective when we're young become problematic as we get older. And this product is basically designed around that structure, that physiology that we know exists, and the limitations that we all contend with as we age. I was going to read some reviews before we run along. Maybe we'll stay a little bit longer after the clock here. But super supplement. My husband and I both enjoy the benefits of Andrew's Memory and Brain with Acetyl L-carnitine. It is particularly effective for maintaining focus and retention of details in our demanding jobs. He actually requested that I reorder Memory and Brain, her husband, I guess. He's an independent contractor for wall coverings, painting, and I'm a teacher. Memory and Brain also mitigates the effects of aging in terms of supporting mental acuity. Thanks so much, Andrew, from Nan in Nevada. Worth every penny. When I take this product, I notice a definite improvement in my brain function when working on challenging projects at work. By taking the supplement, I am confident that I'm giving myself every advantage in living my best life and achieving my goals. Andrew Lessman is a brand I trust 100%. That's from Sue in Michigan. Thank you, Sue. Great memory product. This product was purchased for my daughter who works 2 jobs and needs all the help she can get. This Memory and Brain product helps her with concentration and focus during her strenuous day. She is definitely much calmer now while still handling all the stress. From Mary in North Carolina, which reminds me of a review I read. I'm not sure if it's in the stack here. I'll talk about it in a second. Health Happy. All of Andrew's products that I've tried have helped to keep my husband and I healthy. This product really works when it comes to memory. I did notice a difference when I ran out. But a review that's somewhere in the stacks here that I'll paraphrase, it talked about anxiety. And no, this product doesn't treat or do anything for anxiety. But what it talked about was the worry and anxiety that this individual had in terms of when she couldn't remember something or she'd feel as though she was sort of losing it. I think we all worry that maybe time is catching up with us. And one of the worst things possible for our brain is worry. So it's something that, again, to the extent we support our brain and we don't look at each little passing moment and experience we might have as being indicative of something greater than it is, then I think we're going to be healthier. And to the extent we give our body what it needs to support a structure that is incredibly complex and incredibly demanding, it doesn't define humanity for nothing. It defines us in the very best of ways, perhaps also in the very worst of ways, but it's also the organ in our body that as it changes and as its function might change, it changes the way we experience life more than any other change that we might have in our body.
Well, thank you for reading some of those reviews, Andrew. Not that you need my vote of support or confidence, but this is one where I really do hope you take the time to read some of those reviews, because they are so eloquent, so passionate, as of all of Andrew's items that are customer pick items. First time ever, and you have to understand, this has been a runaway customer pick and favorite for years before it was a Today's Special. It's never been a Today's Special. So if there was ever a time for you to invest in you, and let's be honest, we're talking about our most foundational element for living, and that is, who we are. So I hope you do it, especially with that unconditional money-back guarantee until the end of January. You're getting the best pricing in history. It's never been a Today's Special. The only thing that you have to do is decide your size of choice. 30, 60, 120, and 240. The 480 count size is being done only as a Today's Special, and that's where most of you are going. I mean, in all seriousness, and certainly Andrew said it best, I mean, we're talking about foundational benefits, whether it's those of you out there who, I do struggle, with focus and sometimes clarity. We all deal with stress in a chaotic world. It really does help you, and that's why it's so lovely he's doing this for the first and only day at that Today's Special pricing. Remember, 40 count, and that's where most of you are going. And Andrew, when I said earlier, there has been no, I think, maybe more poignant time in history for us to maybe appreciate this a little bit more. I think sometimes when we are a little more stressed, that's when, we do struggle maybe a little bit more as well.
Well, there's no question. When we're stressed, our memory doesn't work as well. Our attention, our focus, we tend to be distracted. It's definitely challenging. This has been and that's one of the reasons why I decided to make this for the first time ever a Today's Special. It's basically a buy one, get one free. But again, worrying about things doesn't help them get any better. It was my grandma who told me this as a kid. The single most wasted activity I could possibly engage in is worry. It changes nothing. And I know those are just words, but to the extent we can take a deep breath and simply contend with what the world deals us, no matter how unpleasant it might be at times. It serves our brain function well. It serves our health better. So and this is a product that hopefully gives us tools to be a little bit more calm about those changes we might be experiencing as we age, knowing that we're helping to deliver our bodies some tools. And again, it's not a treatment for any disease. What it is, it's just giving us a tool to contend with the aging process, and that's something that affects all of us.
It does indeed. So remember, you choose your size of choice. Most of you are gravitating toward that 4 to 80 count, by the way. And here, your savings, I mean, honestly, you're saving more than you're spending. I mean, seriously, this is what Andrew was talking about. So you're saving more than you're spending. And this is what he was saying, like a buy one, get one, because your pricing goes here on the 240. Here's where it is today on the 480. So Andrew, we've got some time for some monthly specials. With your guidance, we'll scoot ourselves along here. And actually, these are